Qapla world, it's Bird of Prey 5. So, 2 recent short treks dropped. Ephraim and Dot, and The Girl Who Made the Stars. In this review, we're going to do Ephraim and Dot, which, in my opinion, is the far more interesting of the 2. But first, let's head on over to the Enterprise bridge, because it's just going to make more sense. There we are. That feels better. So we start out with the typical short track start, although there was no teaser. Ephraim and Dot. And Ephraim chases Dot. Actually, Dot chases Ephraim. And we get the Starfleet science, tardigrades in space, old-time newsreel, complete with old-time announcer. Talking about space being the final frontier, full of fauna and flora, some deadly and some docile. And we get our first member berry. It's the salt monster from the Man Trap. But the tardigrade uses the mycelial network to travel the galaxy looking for a place to lay her eggs. And her eggs are known to lay dormant for years before hatching. So she looks for a safe, warm environment. So of course she goes to an asteroid. But she senses something, and it's the Enterprise. It's actually a very well-drawn Enterprise. I gotta give props. Wait, you know, with that in coloring, she looks familiar. Oh, the Enterprise just smashes through an asteroid. Why not? That's what the Enterprise does all the time. Just smashes through asteroids. So the tardigrade is looking for a place to get into the Enterprise. She's moving in circles, and she's looking in the window, and oh, it's Kirk and McCoy and Khan. It's Space Seed. Khan wants his people revived, and Kirk told them as soon as they reach Starbase. And the droid is back. The droid from the season finale of Discovery. And it's red now, but it used to be blue. And it detects the tardigrade as an intruder, and it tases it. It tased the tardigrade. The tardigrade starts chasing it. The tardigrade gets sucked into the ship, and they're falling down a corridor. And the robot has emotions. The droid has emotions. The droid is scared for its life as they tumble down a corridor, Looney Tunes style, through clothes and pipes. And they hit bottom in the pile of gold, blue, and red uniforms. And the droid is still going to chase the tardigrade with its taser. The tardigrade's running through the ship, jumping through corridors left and right, going through pipes like it's a brewery, and it gets pooped out of the pipe directly into engineering. And the anthem plays, and the tardigrade can feel the warmth from the dilithium crystals, I suppose. And it's I guess it's chosen this place to lay its eggs. It's so happy. It finds a ledge, and it lays its eggs. And it kind of almost looks like it's asleep, but no, it's not sleeping. It's egg laying, and there's the eggs, and it's so happy. Yay! I've laid my eggs, and I'm gonna live here for eternity. Nope, the droid's back. The droid pulls it away by its tail, and tries to stuff it out the nearest airlock, conveniently a little too small for the tardigrade. Now tribbles. There's tribbles everywhere. The tardigrade is running through the vent system, and we hear Sulu. We hear Sulu from the Naked Time. Sulu with his fencing equipment. And the tardigrade hides in a water tank that the droid then flushes into space. And the droid gives a Vulcan salute and says live long and prosper to the tardigrade that had just pushed out the ship. The tardigrade is pissed. The Enterprise goes to warp, and the tardigrade follows, and we just went through the big hand from the Apollo episode, and now the Doomsday Machine. So we're going through space and time. The tardigrade, now at the Tholian Web. The tardigrade was at the Tholian Web. The tardigrade is following the Enterprise. And we're at Abraham Lincoln. They couldn't figure out how to put Abraham Lincoln in this episode, so they just drew him in a big chair in the sky. We're going through all the TOS episodes of note. Oh shit, we're in the movies. It's the refit, Connie. And we just had the battle with Khan. And now it's, oh, the tardigrade has a window in engineering. It sees its eggs. And there's Saturn in the background. Uh-oh, Spidey sense. It's detecting Klingon birds of prey. It's Star Trek 3 time. The ship is getting blown to shit. There's holes everywhere. The tardigrade goes in, and the droid's back. The droid is doing fire control. The droid stops doing fire control and chases after the tardigrade. The tardigrade has got its eggs. The droid is body slamming the tardigrade all around, and the droid is getting ready to maybe kill the tardigrade. No, the tardigrade picks up a wrench and is getting ready to attack the droid, but then a piece falls from the ceiling and the tardigrade gets distracted. The droid uses it to push the tardigrade out of another airlock. Now the tardigrade sees an egg, and uh-oh, it finally recognizes it as a tardigrade egg. It didn't know what a tardigrade was, but it knows what tardigrade eggs are. Apparently they look like Easter eggs. Oh shit, the ship just said it's about to self-destruct because this is Star Trek 3. And the tardigrade is out in space. It's headed back towards a beautiful rendition of the ship. The ship just blew up. It blew up. Everybody's dead except the tardigrade, I guess. But we know they're not. There's the tardigrade in the wreckage. Very sad music. The tardigrade is looking around, looking left, looking right. All it is wreckage. Oh, and there's the ship. The ship that blew up. This is actually what it looked like in Star Trek 3. 3/4 of the ship just went into the atmosphere of the planet and blew up. Now the tardigrade is really sad. It's so sad. Its eggs must have been on that ship. There's no way those eggs could have been saved. But wait! Here's the droid. The droid is flying through space. And the tardigrade is pissed. It's going to beat the shit out of this droid. But the droid says, no, wait. I mean, not really, but it looks. And the droid opens its container. And it's got the tardigrade babies. The babies have hatched. The babies have come out of the droid. And now they're one big happy family. The announcer says, at least peace has come to the mother and the tardigrade. What adventures await as the new family goes boldly where no one has gone before, and the tardigrade embraces the droid, and they live happily ever after. Wow. Wow. And then we get a preview for next week's short track. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. The first time I watched this, I hated it. Then I said, wait, this isn't canon. This can't be canon. There is no way this is freaking canon. So if I just simply divorce myself from canon, can I enjoy this show? I watched it again and again. And you know what? If you don't consider this episode canon, if you just admit to yourself that CBS never set out to make a canon Star Trek episode in this episode, then it's actually not that bad. It's a trip down memory lane. Sure, they drew the wrong Enterprise. We got the slanted struts on the warp engines like in Discovery, but it had the right colors of TOS. And I do think it's wrong for them to appropriate TOS characters for their usually crappy show, but it was a trip down memory lane. It was. Do I love this episode? No. Is it canon? Abso-freaking-lutely not. I'm sure even CBS can't claim this is canon. I mean, it's ridiculous. It doesn't even happen in the order in which it's supposed to. The Naked Time was a very early episode, and they have the Khan Space Seed episode happening before it. There's so many ways this breaks canon. This is the most breaking of canon. It can't possibly be canon. But if you can live with it not being canon, it's not the worst episode I've ever seen. It's probably 1,000,000 times better than Runaway. And 5,000,000 times better than Ask Not or Q&A. So, yeah, this didn't hurt me. This episode it hurt me at first, but if you divorce yourself from it, this is not. Why would I pay CBS for non-canon Star Trek? I don't know. I mean, I can get plenty of good non-canon Star Trek on YouTube. I pay CBS for canon Star Trek. But, when they stop hitting you over the head with a hammer, and it feels good because they stop, this is it. This is that feeling good. Now, the problem is this in no way is supposed to represent what the future animated tracks are going to be like. Which I suppose is good for canon that this is not what they're going to be like. But the animation style I thought was pretty good. It honestly, it had a Looney Tunes feel, which is good. I mean, if you go to copy from the best. And the Tardigrade did look a lot like Hemlock from A Bug's Life. I'll throw Hemlock up. So yeah, if you're going to copying Hemlock from A Bug's Life isn't so bad. Copying the droids, I mean, we know those droids were copied from R2-D2 in the season finale of Discovery. They were red, they were blue, and now they're red. Whatever. I guess blue would have been just a little too much like R2-D2. But the entire episode, it's going to be the highest I've ever given a short trek. A 5. A 5 out of 50. So a 2 out of 10. Or a 20 out of 100, which is what I usually grade on. So not bad. I mean, not great. Not even good. But for short treks, this has been an amazing episode. Of course, you could say, well, isn't Q&A a good episode if you ignore canon? Isn't Ask Not a good episode if you ignore canon? Isn't Runaway a good episode if you ignore canon? And I say, no, they're all shit. Those were all crappy episodes regardless of canon. This is a good episode if you ignore canon. That's what this is different from all the rest. And Calypso was just boring. So, stay tuned. Very soon we're going to be doing a breakdown of The Girl Who Made the Stars, the second animated short trek released today. Qapla all. Take care.